Hello there. Welcome to the Sustainable Solopreneur series. Thank you for joining me. If you have never seen my face on the internet before, first time catching a video of mine or even partaking in this series, I am Natasha, content marketing strategist and consultant for service-based business owners. I work with solopreneurs one-on-one to help them tap into the power of content marketing for their business so that they can market their business in a much more sustainable way, position their expertise online in a way that aligns with the people that they want to serve, and really transform how they operate and build their brand and business as a solopreneur or team of one. So this Sustainable Solopreneur series is what I'm doing for the entire month of September to really help solopreneurs like you or anyone that you know is a solopreneur tap into the power of content marketing, but more so the sustainable strategies around showing up and serving, creating the content and marketing your business, especially in this online space. So before we get into it, I highly recommend that you share this video. And I say highly recommend because I am quite sure that the content within this video will be something that most need, especially as solopreneurs, to show up and serve in a way that's organic, authentic, and really in alignment to the goals that they have set for the businesses and the brands that they are building. But really what I'm going to be talking about is being more proactive in your marketing, more so being intentional in how you're showing up, serving, and marketing your business and positioning your expertise. And if you know someone that is in this online space, which a lot of us are nowadays, I am quite sure that they can use the content within this video. So go ahead, feel free to share it. Also, if you are catching the first video of this series, this month-long series, it's only 4 videos, but for the entire month of September, if you are catching this video for the first time or a video of the series for the first time, because this is video 3, I highly recommend that you stay right here as well. So share out, right? That's another recommendation, but stay right where you are. Watch this video all the way through and then go back to parts 1 and part 2 up here on the channel so that you can catch up and really get the full value of all of that the series has to offer around sustainable marketing strategies and content creation, tips. So again, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me here. Listen, whether you are catching this actually live or when it premieres or the replay, go ahead and leave some comments in the comment section because I can always see those comments and respond to them, at a later time and even in real time. So go ahead and leave some comments there. Let me know what you're getting out of this series. Let me know what you're going to get out of this content that I'm going to give to you today. So the Sustainable Solopreneur series, why this series? Well, this series was really inspired to be created because noticing that a lot of us solopreneurs are overextending ourselves in marketing our businesses, we are really burning ourselves out and we are getting frustrated by the various changes happening online. That comes with the territory almost, but more so how, it was more so the question of how do solopreneurs, those that are primarily running their businesses themselves, creating the content themselves, marketing and doing all of the things that it needs to get done day in and day out, how do they sustainably show up and serve? How do they sustainably market themselves so that they are not out of alignment to what it is that they're trying to accomplish? And really just transform the concept around being a solopreneur, transform what it looks like to operate as a team of one. From one solopreneur to the other, I understand wholeheartedly what the common issues and problems and struggles that we face on a day-to-day basis, being the sole creators of what it is that we are creating and doing and the impact that we are having. So what are some sustainable strategies to implement within our businesses that we can then, balance showing up and serving while also being there for our personal responsibilities? I'm a wife and mother of 3. I love creating content. I love consulting. I love getting on here and teaching. I love being with my family just as, if not more, right? So how do you show up and serve in a way that feels in alignment and also balance? But also beyond consulting, wanting to dabble into being an author and speaking on stage and how I build my brand right now to help to leverage that at a later time. Again, sustainability, how can I sustain this for the long term? So for the various personal goals that I have, related to my brand, that I can then, flow right into because of what I'm doing now. So that's really what it's about, to have, a sustainable strategy, sustainable business, building the longevity, not overextending yourself, being in alignment both professionally and personally with the goals that you have set. Now, today specifically, I want to talk about how to be more proactive in your marketing, and more so being, much more intentional in your strategy for how you're showing up and the content that you're creating and the way that you are positioning your expertise in this online space. So let's get into it. So the current marketing situations exist right now. The marketing landscape has truly changed, and for many of us who have been online, not necessarily building a brand, but we've been online for some time. I'm talking about my millennials here, like myself, older millennials, and we have seen how the landscape of online has changed clearly, right? I came from the MySpace age. MySpace, the AIM, it was the AOL AIM, chat, where you had to literally write out short emojis, because it wasn't, not at first. I think they later got it where you had the picture emojis, and then it was the basic picture emojis. So, coming from that era, if you would say, that space, that time of being online and seeing where it is now, where it's like, oh, wait, you can build a brand, you can build an empire, really in this online space. It doesn't just have to be us just consuming whatever is given to us. We have tapped in from a very, consumption-based, internet, really, to more of a creator economy, where we are now creating the opportunities, creating the impact, creating the meaningful conversations and spaces, that we want to see or wish we had, at other points in our lives. So we are in this space where the internet truly has changed in the way that we use it, and the way it really, and how we use it in our day-to-day lives. But when it comes to marketing your business, especially in this online space, the current landscape when it comes to marketing, showing up and serving, really it fits within these three buckets for the most part. Again, a big part of how we use the internet and show up, or just social media and just being online, is a lot of creator, based. There's a lot of people creating opportunities and spaces and things of that sort. And there's also a lot of things that have been leveraged and utilized and capitalized on within the last 5, 10, 15 years, that's really changed the way that we, incorporate on being online and the internet in our personal and professional lives. One thing for sure, though, as a solopreneur, and if you are someone building your brand and or business, and you're trying to leverage this online space, because the reality is, a business can be successful without being on social media. It still has to leverage the internet, obviously, in some way, shape, or form. We are long beyond the put up an ad in your community. We are long behind posting up in some space in your community or in your city to sell things. We are long beyond that. Are those still tactics that can be utilized today? I am quite sure, but we now have the ability with the internet and being online to reach thousands upon thousands of people without even leaving our homes. We do not have to post up on any type of street or space in the community. We do not have to go around, stapling up various ads and posting them, throughout the city, that we're in, just to get people aware that we exist and what it is that we do. So the current landscape of marketing, for the most part, sits where a lot of solopreneurs, specifically, I'm going to say, we really tapped into this space where we think marketing our businesses equals our platform of choice or our favorite platform. And I say that to say that we are really, we get bogged down by, what it means to market our businesses in this online space where we are solely focusing on the one specific platform that likely is the most popular platform that most people are using. And we are saying to ourselves, well, I have to be on this platform too, because other people are on here. There are people that do what I do this on this platform. They are seeing results. It appears that they're growing, their brands and their businesses. I too need to be on this platform. And what happens is a lot of times is that sometimes the most popular platform, let's say, for example, right now, Instagram, a lot of people are believing, and even myself has really got bogged down by thinking that this has to be the platform for me, and thinking that this is the platform and the only platform that you can be leveraging, or the only space online that you can leverage to market your business, to show up, to connect, to, cultivate relationship with the potential clients and customers that you want to have, coming through your digital or physical doors. And it's this idea that because that is the popular platform and that's the platform where everyone is on, I too have to be there. I too have to tap into this platform, and or marketing my business is this platform right here. There's no other space that I market my business. I don't have a website per se. I might have a landing page. I'm not doing any other forms of marketing or any other forms of content creation outside of Instagram. And that right there is a huge misconception that traps a lot of solopreneurs, or people that are solely building their brands and businesses themselves, because they then believe that their entire marketing world or the way that they show up has to really be in alignment, or quote unquote, to what this platform is asking of them. So if this platform is asking of them to do X, Y, and Z, their entire strategy exists because of this platform or around this platform. And then we see it where platforms shut down and people are just like, oh my goodness, my whole entire business was only on this platform. What am I going to do? I get up every day to post to Instagram. Now I can't. What is happening? Or I get up every day to, scroll the feed. What is happening here? There is no shame, because I have been in this space and finding myself being trapped into this idea that I can only find success on this platform really was the mindset that I had to get myself out of. That it did not have to be this platform. It does not have to be this platform. There was a lot of reassessing of my personal strategy for my brand of where does Natasha see herself? And I'm asking you that same question. Where do you see yourself? And how can you get yourself there, leveraging the platforms that you're leveraging right now within your brand and within your business, because it is a bigger picture to all of this. The idea that being on this one sole platform means that this is going to make or break your business is really a destructive mindset to get out of, or that your business can only succeed on this platform. It might be a platform that you can easily use. And granted, social media in general has a very low barrier to entry when it comes to marketing, because they've created these platforms to be simple enough in its usage. So yes, social media and those platforms pretty much have a low barrier to entry for the most part. So and sometimes the easier the platform in our ideas is, the quicker I can get to results, the quicker I can get, whatever the outcome that I'm trying to aspire to, whatever is the easiest way, the easiest, path to get there, I'm going to do it, right? But again, this mindset of removing yourself from thinking that marketing is your platform of choice. In all essence, marketing is an ongoing activity, and we will talk about this in a little bit of why, just sticking with one platform of choice is not your most valuable option when it comes to connecting, serving, and really converting, any potential person to a client or customer. So, current landscape as well is that marketing, tends to be, closely tied to creating and leveraging any viral or content or trends that's happening right now. So, a lot of people are hopping on a social media only when there's a trend happening. So they're not marketing their business. They're not showing up and serving in any other form or way outside of the trend that is now taking place. You know, those type of people that only show up when something is happening, when something in the news has happened. So then now they got to weigh their give you their 2 cents, you know, on their profile or things of that sort. But other than that, you don't hear about them. You don't see them. You don't hear about them. In fact, the only time that they market something is when there is a trend that is happening, or they use being in this online space as a way to go viral. So, you know, they're waiting to, get a flood of people onto their page to following them, and then they can start showing up and actually marketing themselves and actually putting their brands out there, right? But other than that, if they don't get the likes, they don't get the comments, they don't get the people following them, they then do not show up at all. Which leads to the current landscape as well of the way even social media platforms have, designed themselves or redesigned themselves to really be influencer-based platforms. You know, a lot of the platforms that we're using are really not geared to business owners and solopreneurs. A lot of them are geared to people that just simply create. They're creators or influencers, where you can still thrive clearly, because we see people thriving as businesses using social media platforms. But for many of the social media platforms that we use, they have really tapped into the creator economy and really, built out a landscape in where people feel that they have to be content creators, sole content creators, in order to see results, to get outcomes, to reach plateaus within their businesses. And granted, a level of content creating is needed to thrive as a solopreneur, especially in this digital, landscape, for sure. Like, content creation is needed, right? However, being an influencer or some type of entertainer really is not where most of us are. Most of us are not getting on these platforms to be silly, to be entertaining. Most of us are getting on this platform to say, I have a story, there is an impact that I want to make, there's a movement that I'm trying to, start. Most of us are in a space where we are trying to educate and inform people on topics that are passionate to us and who we are as people. We are not so entertainers, or at the heart of it, we're not entertaining people. We are more so educating and informing. And with that, a lot of the platforms do not highlight that. They highlight who has the largest influence. If you have the largest following, we want to we want to amplify your content more on the platform. Or we want to get behind you. If you, have a large, not just following, just influence, you have a way with the crowd, right? In terms of entertainment, we want to back you, right? So this influence-based economy that we're in, or this landscape or this aim that a lot of social media platforms have, where it's focusing on who has the largest influence, really then we as a lot of solopreneurs take pages out of this playbook of like, well, if I'm using Instagram, it has to be in this way, shape, or form. Although I have a business that does X, Y, and Z, I have to be an influencer in order to see my business thrive, or I have to have some level of influence in order to see my business thrive. And we're going to talk about really the difference between impact and influence, and which one is needed in order to activate the other, right? Hence, impact comes before influence. And again, with this current marketing landscape, a lot of solopreneurs, a lot of business owners, we are finding ourselves in really in this rat race that social media platforms are in, of like, how do we get what we need to get out of this space, and a lot of solopreneurs there's a lot of us struggling to get the most out of the spaces that we are in, because we are trying to play a game that we will never win, unfortunately, a game that is not really in we have no strategic leverage with using the social media platforms that we use, all of them, honestly. But there are some platforms that you can use to get more out of and really have a long-lasting impact on who it is that you serve now and or in the future. So with that current landscape, I want to discuss really 3 ways to be a lot more intentional with your marketing. Just give me a sec really quick. Let me open up my, let me expand this. There we go. So that we can discuss things. So when it says or discussing about things like, oh, the current marketing landscape and, you know, where we're at, marketing does not mean your popular platform, or showing up and serving online does not have to be about your most popular platform. In fact, when you have this mindset of chasing new platforms or just deciding that one particular platform is going to be your way of marketing, i.e. social media, you come to this point where you're chasing platforms to really get quick results, right? You have no aim, no clear understanding of what your marketing strategy looks like or how you're showing up and serving and connecting with your audience in a way that attracts them to your brand or business. So you find yourself really chasing new platforms so you can get quick results, right? Or getting on platforms just so you can, you know, get this massive influence, this massive influx of followers and people with things of that sort. So then that you can say, oh, now I can sell to these people. But you really did not have a clear understanding of who you were trying to attract on the platform that you were using and how you need to show up to ensure that you are attracting and generating awareness, you know, around your business, right? In fact, you just say, this is the platform that most people are using. Most people are getting results. In fact, a lot of marketing is really taught from a place of platform specific strategies. You know, I talked about this on my blog of like, just because you know a few platform tricks or hacks does not mean you have a full blown content or marketing strategy. In fact, just knowing platform features does not mean you have a strategy at all. But a lot of how we understand marketing and how we understand showing up and serving and content creation is very specific to platforms, where your strategy should not be so heavily dependent on one platform. It should be literally a ecosystem, a web, network of platforms that you use, and they have to work in tandem to get you the results that you're looking for or get you closer to the outcomes that you're looking for. So right then and there can really help break a lot of people's mindsets around marketing. And marketing is not a singular thing because it's a ongoing activity. It cannot start and end with one platform. In fact, it should start on one platform, hop to another space, and it's like literally an ecosystem, a network of just an ongoing activity of you positioning, generating awareness, building interest, providing, methods for people to work with you one-on-one or direct based off the services that you provide. It's literally just a continuum of activity that is happening. It's not a one-time occurrence. And when you understand this, you understand that posting to a platform, just because you do it every day, does not mean that you're marketing. It does not mean that you're showing up and serving. It does not mean that you are really connecting, or you might be connecting, but it really does not mean that you are getting closer to the goals that you have set in the business that you are, building, in a brand that you're building. Also, marketing does not necessarily mean leveraging trends and going viral. Again, becoming or being an expert at platforms is not the same as really positioning your expertise in a way that is valuable and valuable to the people that you want to serve. So, when seeing people hop on trends, oh, everyone's doing this type of content, people that it's like, oh, seeing something that is being done on a platform, who is doing it, this person either has thousands upon thousands of followers, let's just hypothetically say, and because they do, in your mind, you say, I'm going to do what they're doing. I'm going to piece together what they're doing, along with what I see someone else doing. I'm going to put this together, and this is now my strategy. And then when you say, but people are not clicking a link in my bio, people are not going to my website, if you have one, people are not signing up for my email list, people are just not doing anything. I am getting likes, likely. I get a few comments. In fact, my following count has even went up. However, none of that has translated into what it is that I'm actually wanting to accomplish. Chasing the trend, riding waves, but not positioning your expertise in a way that's valuable, will result in you overextending yourself. You are, posting specific type of content and you're still struggling to see some level of a result. You might be getting results, but they're likely not the results that you are looking to achieve. And last but not least, marketing does not necessarily mean influence. And because we're in this economy where a lot of social media platforms are honing in on creators, people who are great at creating, literally, so anybody who has a creative bone in their body, you may not be the best designer or things of that sort, but you have an expertise or a skill set that is valuable. But because a lot of these platforms are not really, amplifying people with actual skill set and expertise, they just want people who can entertain, who can keep someone on the platform longer, who has the greatest influence. That is what a lot of these platforms are backing. But understand that impact will always come before influence. We don't think of someone like Martin Luther King because of his influence. He made an impact, which resulted in us respecting his influence. Respecting the influence that he has on us, or anybody else that did something that really created a movement and really, sparked action in some way, shape, or form, moved a crowd to take an action on something, right? On a much bigger picture than, are people liking me for me, or are they liking me for the impact that I have, right? So it's just like, if you find yourself on social media specifically and you are pretty much posting content, it seems very entertaining, but you're trying to get people to book you one-on-one for services, you are growing your influence, but you are limiting yourself just to that. You are not making an impact. You are not making a dent in their mind to say, I am thinking of this person for this service. And this is why this is what I mean by impact has to come before influence. Show up, educate, generate awareness, really, spark, some type of interest around a topic, a subject that actually relates and matters to people. Then you will grow the influence. People will see you as an influential person. They will then back you. So that's really all that I want to say there. So how do you start to level up your marketing in a sustainable way, one that doesn't overextend you, one that is not about burnout, one that is in alignment to the goals that you have set and to where you are going within your business? Well, 3 things that you want to focus on. 1, optimizing your touch points. 2, you want to learn the feel, think, and do formula, and you want to know your aim. AIM has an acronym to it, AIM. So I'm going to be going deep into this. This is a time where you might want to get your pen and paper out, or if you have your notes, if you are watching this on your phone, if you're watching this on your laptop or your desktop, you might want to pull up the note apps or some type of note app so that you can take some notes. I like Evernote. I don't mind the Apple Note app as well. Just putting it out there for different apps that you can use to take notes. So optimizing your touch points is so important to leveling up your marketing and really getting intentional in your entire marketing strategy. With your touch points, all I mean is where on the internet will people encounter your brand or business? That is what I mean by touch points. Where on this internet will people encounter your brand and business? And keep in mind, you want to really be I want to say you want to be strategic enough with identifying what those spaces are, because going back to what I said, marketing is not just a one platform thing. It's an ongoing network of activity happening. So optimizing your touch points really just means what are the spaces online that are going to be part of your network of really encountering and getting your brand in front of your audience. So what are those spaces going to be? Currently for me, for my Natasha Tony Consulting business and brand, my current touch points are in YouTube, Pinterest, my blog, and obviously email. Those are my current touch points. So those 4 places, Pinterest, YouTube, my blog, and my website. Do I use other platforms? Yes, I do. I use Twitter. I'm going to be tapping into LinkedIn as well. Those are spaces that I also use. With those spaces with Twitter and LinkedIn, I am not doing a lot of heavy, positioning of my brand or expertise on those platforms. I am deciding to slowly but surely incorporate those into my network or into my entire strategy, but making sure that I'm not, again, overextending myself, and now I'm lining myself to the platforms that really best help me connect to the people that I'm serving, and also position my brand and business in a way that is in alignment to my goals. So optimize your touch points, and by that, one, identifying what those touch points are, so that you can say, okay, what are the spaces that I'm going to meet up with my audience? Where can they find me? Where can I connect with them? And really, it's about setting the mood. Like your touch points, whether it be your social media pages like Instagram and Twitter or whatever the the platforms that you're on, set the mood. Like, what do people need to get out of those spaces? So what is the content that they're going to likely find that you're going to create for this space? What are going to be the call to actions that you're going to have within these spaces, right? Are people going to be able to sign up for the email newsletter or the email list? Are people going to be able to download the freebie? Are they going to be able to buy the course? Like, what is the call to actions? And also make sure it's branded. Where's your logo? Where's the fonts that you're using? Where are the colors that you're using, right? So you really want to just make sure that you are setting the mood at these touch points. Like, think about it. Think about any and every time. Think about, yes, any and every time that your audience encounters your brand or business, what is the mood that they're going to find themselves in, the content that they're going to get, the call to actions. Really, it's almost like setting the mood, right, for your audience at each touch point, so that they can get the most out of that touch point that you are, that they have just, encountered for your brand and for your business, right? So really, it's about that. Now, the other question that you want to ask yourself when it comes to optimizing your touch points really is about where on the audience journey is this touch point. So there are certain touch points, and oh my goodness, I am sitting by my window and I am hearing a helicopter in the background. Hopefully you cannot hear it. But where on the audience journey is this touch point? So what I mean by that is this a place where people will likely become aware of you for the first time ever? Is this a space where people will likely, they may come across you for the first time, ever, or this might be a space that is in tandem to another space, right? So I'm thinking, for example, someone coming to Pinterest will meet my blog for the first time. They will see my website. They will see my content on Pinterest, and then they will go to my blog, right? So my first touch point will be Pinterest, and then it will lead them to my blog, right? But it's the journey of like, hey, I'm just meeting you on Pinterest. You're coming across my content. You're then clicking that link. Clicking that pin. You're going to my website. Now I have your attention. I'm gauging your interest. You're reading my blog post. From there, hop onto my email list. You know what? In fact, hop onto my email list with this call to action, with my free resource, right? I have a free content playbook that solopreneurs can download to really help them map out their content strategy. So, hey, go ahead and get this free ebook. Once I have you on my ebook, once you have signed up for my ebook with your email, I now have you on my email list. But do you see how it all worked in tandem? I have my first touch point, my second touch point, and my third touch point. Now that you're on my email list, now I can talk to you a lot deeper. I can really get to understand how I can serve you. In fact, I can offer you the space to work one-on-one with me. Go ahead and book a free call with me for 20 minutes. It all works like that, as simple as possible. A really laid out strategy for not only setting the mood, optimizing your touch points, but really understanding, what that journey is like from people for them to know, like, and trust you enough to make the decision to work with you. So you want to optimize your touch points and really get clear where on the internet are you trying to exist, and where should people become aware of you. And this is why, going back to marketing, does not have to be the most popular. Marketing does not equate to the most popular platform of choice. In fact, it should not. It should be a platform that you're going to have the most impact, or the biggest impact on, and a space where it fits in how you choose to market your business and or connect with the audience that you are serving. So the next step to really and being intentional with your marketing is understanding the formula for conversion. Now, we likely have heard it online, converting, how to create content that converts, how to create content, that sells, and this, that, and the third, and selling, and how converting, happens in DMs. It can happen here. It can happen in all of these ways, right? It all boils down to a simple formula. Feel, think, and do. Feel, think, and do. You have to understand that people are coming to you, whether it be the first time, whether they have known your brand for some time, they've known your business for some time. And if you are solopreneurs, especially in the service-based industry, this is very important to understanding this formula, because then it helps you approach content creation and marketing and the way that you connect with the audience or the potential clients and customers that you choose to serve. The feel, think, and do formula. One, you have to understand, you have to acknowledge people's feelings in and out of this entire journey of them knowing, liking, and trusting you. Their feelings are at the heart of all of what they do. In reality, our feelings are at the heart of what we do. There has been, I've heard it said as many times as possible that, feelings are, subjective, feelings are not always fact and things of that sort, which it's not. Honestly, how we feel may not be what the reality is. Like, oh, I feel down today, but the reality is, in the whole grand scheme of my week, I had a decent week, right? So how I'm feeling in this moment, in this space, does not really equate to the overall picture of things. But when we are in our feelings, we are in them heavy and we are in them deep. But you have to acknowledge that people coming to you for the first time, they have feelings. Those feelings have to be valid. Those feelings have to be recognized. You cannot sit here and, disregard people's feelings. People at this point are so sophisticated in this online space where people can feel when you are spammy. They can feel when you are inauthentic. They can feel when you're just trying to get something from them and keep it going, right? They can feel that in your marketing and your messaging. I know a lot of people, enough accounts where I'm like, I don't like how I feel when I come across their content. I don't like how the feeling that I get, just reading their content. I don't like that feeling. Not that it's a feeling where like, oh, this person has like the greatest ill intent to hurt me or to, shame me necessarily, but it does happen. Like that shameful messaging happens online, heavy. But if I don't feel, if I don't feel that my feelings are going to be valid with this person, I don't feel connected to them. I don't feel like I can work with them. I don't feel like I can even engage in their content whatsoever. The feelings have to be valid. While they may not be fact, they are real and they have to be validated. And this is really important when people are coming to you really for the first time, especially in this space, because most of us have thousands of accounts, and I'm exaggerating when I say this, but we follow so many accounts that our minds are really shaped by each and everything that comes across our screen. The way we feel about our businesses, about our brands, and who we are as people, like all of those things are real, and understanding how people feel, you can understand how they think, and you can understand why they do or do not take certain actions. But it all starts with their feelings. Acknowledge the feelings of your audience. Once you acknowledge their feelings, you have to understand again that their feelings are closely tied to their thoughts. If I don't feel that my offer is valid, I will not think that it's a valid offer. If I don't feel that my brand or business can make an impact, I will not think that. If I don't feel that my marketing is really, getting me the results that that the way I'm marketing myself is really connecting to the audience that I'm serving, I will not think that. If I don't feel that I have something to offer, I will not believe that. Our feelings are closely tied to our thoughts. And with them being closely tied to our thoughts, we want to connect with people who recognize that we may have these feelings, but in a way, in a service-based business and provided the service that you're offering, when I think about, my clients serving, I think about the fact that some of their feelings would be they're overextending themselves, so they feel overwhelmed, they feel burnt out. In fact, they likely will be burnt out. They feel just confused. While they have an understanding of what they want to do, they feel confused on how to approach content creation and marketing so that they can show up and serve in a way that feels authentic, one that aligns to their goals, one in which that will get them closer to them carrying out the vision that they have. They're bottled up. They don't know. They're not sure. Really, that's the biggest thing. They're not sure. They're looking for validation. So these feelings are tied up. They're looking for validation. They're looking for an outlet. They're looking for a way to really cut through the noise in their own heads, and even in their own hearts of like what they feel. Because of that, they're in their heads. They are looking for the quickest, easiest route at times. They are either giving up on marketing their businesses because it's not proving to be something that they can do. They're finding themselves overworked and overwhelmed because they're like, I have the service, I have the offer. In fact, I got the knowledge, the experience, the expertise. I have it all, but I just can't seem to bring myself to a space where I can market myself that makes sense to the way I'm building my brand and connect with the people that I'm trying to serve. In fact, I find myself doubting the impact that I can make, doubting what I can do through my expertise and skill set. And because I'm doubting myself, I feel a certain way and I'm doubting myself in it. I either am not going to take the action that I know I should take, or two, I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm just going to go the opposite way. I'm just either going to stop. I'm not even going to continuously market my business. In fact, I'm going to keep going to this person that tells me I got to post this 3 to 5 times a day in order to, I'm going to go that way because that seems to be something consistent at least, right? So there's a lot of feelings that go into one of the clients that I work with, and just having them understand, like where content fits at in their businesses, and helping them carry out their missions and visions of their brands and their businesses, and really developing sustainable strategies to do so. So there's a lot that goes into it. Same thing with the audience that you're serving. What are they feeling, which ultimately leads to how they think, which ultimately leads to the decisions that they do or do not make, which leads, again, feelings and thoughts are aligned to create either action or inaction. And as a solopreneur marketing your services, your job is to recognize the feelings, acknowledge them, identify the thoughts that typically go with this, put that in your marketing and your messaging so that you can spark the proper action that people need to take to level up, to go to a new level, mentally, to aspire, carrying out their vision or their mission, right? Or whatever the outcome that you are trying to get them to do. If the outcome is whatever the outcome is that you're trying to get them to do, what are the feelings that they're feeling currently? What are the thoughts that are tied to them? How do you position? How do you market to? How does your message speak to that? Those feelings and thoughts, and really, what is the action that will align to getting them closer to the result that they're looking for? So you got to understand the feel, think, and do formula when we talk about converting people. It's not necessary. Can this happen in a DM? It can happen, but all of this will not take place in a one sitting. This will be an ongoing thing. And I think that's the one part about a lot of the content and education that's online around like marketing and conversion, things of that sort. We tend to think it's this like one time, like it happens like this, like, someone goes and they click on the link, they, book my call. Can it happen? Cool. Yes, it can. However, it will take time for it to happen. It's not just a one-time occurrence. It's not like post, they see it, they're resonating with it, they click the link. That is the journey we want them to take, but it does not happen that way per se. The journey is a back and forth, up and down, side to side. It is not just a linear thing, and it will not just be based off just the content that you create, because the various aspects that go into it. Are you recognizing their feelings? And even in your branding and your messaging, are you recognizing their feelings? Are you understanding where they're at mentally and why they haven't either taken the action that they needed to take, or that they're doing the total opposite? Is all of this really wrapped up in your messaging, in the way that you show up and connect with your audience, and the conversations that you have with them? That right there is how you convert. That right there is how you really empower them to take the proper, appropriate action for their situation. So last but not least, outside of optimizing your touch points and knowing the feel, think, and do formula for converting, you have to also know your aim. Out of all of this, you have to know what you are aiming for. What happens for a lot of us is that we know we got to create content to market our business. In fact, creating content is a very low cost way to market our business, right? You can either put up an ad, or you can just post and create content. However, in that, you have to understand what you are aiming to do. For us, in the service-based industries, our aim is not necessarily to grow. And I say this for anyone that is a person who is educating and informing people. You have an expertise or a skill set that can make an impact in someone's life. Your goal does not have to be growing a massive following on social media. Your goal, in fact, I don't even think should have to grow a massive following on social media, or to be just heavily, immersed in social media. Again, social media is one form of marketing. It's one avenue, or one piece of your network, but it should not be, your entire strategy should not be wrapped up into the social media platform that you're using. Again, going back to marketing is not the platform or the populist platform that you're on. You have to have an aim in all of this, from the content that you create to the way that you're positioning yourself, the way that you're showing up in the conversation that you're having. What is your aim out of all of this? And the aim is a framework that, what happened was, I took the traditional marketing funnel. The traditional marketing funnel says things like cast your net as wide as possible. Get as many people to come into this funnel. The more people you get, the likelihood that you can get people to the bottom of that funnel, and then they can purchase from you, right? Very simple in its process, very intrusive. And in my opinion, it does not necessarily align a lot of times with what the vision that people have set for the brands and the businesses that they're building. And more than ever, people are looking for very holistic ways to market themselves and to position their expertise, and really focusing on the way that they are connecting and engaging with the people that they are serving, versus being very intrusive and very just, in language and in the approach. I feel like the traditional marketing funnel is very scammy, spammy. Like, it does not really help, especially service-based providers, feel like they are, authentically aligning themselves with the people they want to serve and staying in alignment to the businesses the business and brand that they're building. So with that, I said, flip this. And a lot of people have flipped the funnel before, as they say. Flip this and make this less intrusive and more inviting into a space that is in alignment between you and I, from solopreneur or service-based business, provider to customer client, right? How in alignment is this? Not only that, But when you understand brand awareness, you understand brand awareness has its tiers to it. With brand awareness, which I have a video here on the channel that goes through a brand awareness strategy, and understanding brand awareness, it's really about, starting from the bottom and working your way to the top. And with each and every relationship that we have, people become they meet us. They don't know who we are per se. They become aware of us through the way that we approach them and what they come to associate with us. From there, they start to develop trust, and then from there, we're top of mind to them. There's people that that you have in your life where you think of like going out. This is one person that I'm going to go out. We have fun, we enjoy ourselves, but then you're like, you know what? This is the person that I want to go to church with. Because the person that you party with ain't really the top person of mine to go to church with, right? So things of that sort. Brand awareness, especially in this online space, works the same way. With the brand awareness model, again, at the with it, it's about an invite and to putting you top of mind for what it is that you do. So the bottom part of that aim triangle, that brand awareness triangle, is about building awareness. What do people need to associate with you in order for them to trust you, in order for them to put you top of mind for the services that you offer? So at the bottom of that triangle is about awareness. The middle part is about gauging their interest and building their trust. And the top part of that is the likelihood of you getting them to be aware of you, gaining their interest and trust. They now put you top of mind. The next step that you have to take is provide them or empower them to take the action to working with you one-on-one. Because in reality, you cannot make someone do what they likely do not want to do. People will not buy because you told them. People will not invest because you said it. You have to provide them the space to make the decision on their own, to say, this aligns with me and where it is that I'm going and what it is that I'm doing. I want to make the step of working with this person, or I want to take the step of buying this product, right? So you have to understand brand awareness, but ultimately you have to have an aim for what you do, from the content that you create to the way that you show up and serve, to the way that you are marketing, connecting with those that you need to connect in your business. So this really wraps up the, part 3 series of the Sustainable Solopreneur, of how to intentionally market yourself, or market your business in this online space, being proactive and intentional in your marketing. So what I want to ask you is, are you in need of a sustainable way to market and increase your awareness around your service-based business? If you are, it's likely because your content workflow is all over the place or lacks a strategic direction. When you are in need of a sustainable way to market and increase awareness and become top of mind to your audience, your workflow has to be in shape. Your workflow has to be defined, documented, and laid out, because ultimately the content that you create, if you lack a workflow or a strategic direction with the content that you create, you lack communicating your value in the most valuable way possible. So your content workflow has to be laid out and defined, and your workflow fits into your entire content ecosystem, or hub is what I like to call it. And really, when you lack a content workflow that has strategic direction, it ultimately leads to a disconnect between the content that you're creating and the way that you're marketing your business, and the audience that you're serving. So ultimately, you're not even top of mind to people for what it is that you do, because the way that you've been showing up does not connect with who you say you are and what it is that you're providing or say that you provide or do. And because there's a disconnect there, people are not seeing you as the top person in mind for what you claim to offer, which ultimately says that you are overextending yourself and not positioning yourself to be a voice of value, to be the top person in mind for what you do. In fact, what you are doing is being part of this, influencer-like way, marketing, where you are, and I say influencer like, meaning entertainment like, way where you're showing up and you're entertaining the folks. People are entertained by your content, but they are not educated. They are not informed. They do not see you for who you or say that you are. In fact, there's a disconnect. And even if you're not dancing and if you're not, doing all the entertainment things, if you still are lacking a workflow or a strategic direction, you don't know your aim, you have no idea how you're generating awareness, you have no idea what you need, what people need to associate with you. You're not clear on that. You are still likely overextending yourself because you're trying to piece together what other people are doing in this online space, and you're piecing what this person says. You're joining that challenge. This person says market your business this way. This person says do this. This person say that. You don't need a piece together content strategy. You need a custom tailored strategy that aligns with the goals that you have set. That one, will allow you to sustainably market your business, and 2, help you build capacity to operate better as a team of 1, and 3, just aligns with the goals that you have set for who you are as a person at the end of the day, right? So that you can so that you can have the impact, grow the influence, but more so position yourself as that person in mind for what it is that you do. Again, you don't need the tips, tricks, and hacks. You need sustainable, relevant strategies to implement within your business. And that's why I truly believe in having my strategy sessions and working with my clients so that they can develop the proper, ecosystem or hub really, and really document their workflows so that they understand what it is that they're doing, the strategic direction that they are, that they need to go in when it comes to their content, when it comes to their marketing, and really also mapping out their audience awareness journey so that they know this is what it looks like for someone to know, like, and trust me. This is what it looks like for someone to build awareness, build trust, and to leads them to making that empowered action to work one-on-one with me in this space. I'm mapping that journey out, and this is the content that I need to align with that journey. Ultimately, it's positioning my expertise. Hi, honey buns. Ultimately, it's positioning my expertise. I am in alignment to the people that I want to serve, and in fact, they see me. They put me top of mind for what it is that I do. There's could be so many other people that do what you do, but are you top of mind to the people that you need to serve? And if you're not, you need to develop a content strategy, a content marketing strategy that reflects your level of expertise, that reflects the goals that you have set for your business. And if you are interested in working with me in simplifying, strategizing, and maximizing with your content and your marketing, and really transforming your business in the way that you operate as a solopreneur, you can submit a brief inquiry form to work one-on-one with me for a simple strategy session. You can go to bit.ly simple strategy session. The link is here on the screen. One private 90-minute session with me is $349, and within that session, we go through and we really simplify aspects of your marketing and your content for your business, and we really start to strategize and provide a strategic direction and really get clear on your aim, and we really maximize on your efforts so that you don't have to feel like you have to overextend yourself in order to market and to show up and serve and really get closer to your goals as a solopreneur. So if you're interested, go ahead and submit a brief inquiry form to work one-on-one with me. With that, with submitting that form, we will likely talk on the phone for a good 20 minutes just to get a clear understanding of, where your struggles, your roadblocks are, and really just what you're trying to prioritize within the next 30 to 60, 90 days in your business, and how our strategy session can help you get there. So go ahead to bit.ly/simple strategy session to work one-on-one with me. Again, my name is Natasha Tony, content marketing strategist and consultant for service-based solopreneurs. I work one-on-one with my clients to help them design a sustainable content strategy that will position their expertise to align with who it is that they serve, but really, sustainable content marketing strategy and build capacity to operate as a team of 1. Thank you so much for listening to part 3 of the Sustainable Solopreneur series. Subscribe to the channel. If I haven't told you, subscribe to the channel so that you can catch part 4, but you can also catch new videos here uploaded on the channel every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much.